I am thrilled to have someone that I've been following on social media now for several years into the Modern Real Estate Marketing Podcast. He goes by Big Mike, but honestly, I don't think I can call him Big Mike anymore. I think I've got to call him Medium Mike. And we're gonna talk about his story. But when it comes to personal branding, it's going to be really, really hard to find another real estate agent out there that is doing what Big Mike is doing right now. Mike Morris, welcome.
Man, I am honestly honored to be here. I've definitely kept in touch with you for years, and you've helped me out a lot. And I'm doing all right now in marketing.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So first, before we talk about branding, we talk about marketing and real estate and so on and so forth. Let's talk about the Big Mike, Medium Mike thing. So on the pod, I apologize, you're not going to be able to see this, but on the YouTube channel, we're going to throw up right now a before pic. Let's talk about your health journey just real quick, because it's actually amazing to watch what you've done. Where did you start at?
So,
and how long ago? 2 questions.
So I was my peak 376 is the highest I've ever seen my scale. Now, may have been up a little bit more, but I remember that was the highest, and I remember not a normal scale going up to 350 was even handling me. It was always too much.
Yeah.
So 376, as of this morning, I was 247, and I'm starting to get a little fit.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I get a lot of DMs on a regular basis as far as how many people say I inspired them, and it's the muscle mass. If I were to be at 0% body fat, which we both know is never going to happen, but I'd be about 235 pounds, which is just insane. So I put on a lot of muscle. So I have about 10 pounds of fat to lose, and I would even argue I probably have about 10 pounds of loose skin just from being that big and losing a third of your size. It definitely has its dilemmas. May look into it one day, but I'm not really too worried about it at this point.
Yeah. So in the world of GLP-1s and so on and so forth, that's not the road that you really chose to go, because I see your ass in the gym with photos and videos and everything else every morning. So tell everyone just real quick, because it's such a big transformation. It really, really is. And that's not why we're on the pod today, but it's such a big transformation, and it is so inspiring to other people. What's your routine right now look like? And then what did it look like when you were at your heaviest? So 374, what did that look like when you decided, you know what, God, I got to make a change?
So, I ended up having a breakup. And at first it began, I'm going to prove her wrong. And that's what kind of started my entire journey. I fully believe until the pain of staying the same overrides the fear of change, nobody will change. Well, the pain of staying the same finally pissed me off enough. I said, you know what? I'm going to change. Now, GLP-1, I was a couple months ago, maybe 3 months ago, on semaglutide.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wasn't doing nothing to me. It's a hunger suppressant, and it doesn't help you really burn anything. And that was already after 3 years of going to the gym. Buddy of mine was like, hey, this will help you with your hunger. I'm like, I'm not eating when I'm hungry as it is. I'm only eating on a schedule. So I was sitting there literally stabbing myself with some semaglutide, preventing hunger, but it wasn't doing anything because I wasn't eating when I was hungry before. I'm not eating when I'm hungry now, and it's not doing anything. I'm literally just wasting money.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it the easy way at all. I did get about 3 years ago now, maybe 2 years ago, I went and got my hormones checked. I've been on testosterone ever since, and nothing like I'm not abusing it by any means. I'm purely doing it for hormones. I'm a little bit more on the elevated side of a person my age now, and I'll never go back.
Yeah.
To be a guy that was 1/3 of where I should be to where I'm at right now, I feel normal, and in today's time, normal feels like a superpower. So, dude, I feel fantastic. That's the only thing that I would say is not natural, but it's like, man, doesn't take away any of the hard work.
No, hey, you're preaching to the choir. So I'm a huge fan of testosterone. Been on it for myself for a few years.
The amount of guys that I've spoken with, for one, they ask me questions about testosterone, but for two, the amount of guys is like almost I would say a little bit shameful of being on it. It's like, man, I'm not ashamed at all. Like, if that makes you feel better, do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think so many people have this preconceived notion as far as anything outside to make you feel good is almost bad for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I would rather you feel good. Like whenever people tell me, man, you know what? I went and did 5 minutes of a walk. I cheer you on harder than probably the guy that went and killed himself in 3 hours in the gym, because I want people I want people to feel like I feel.
Yeah.
And it all starts with one step.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. All right. So not a health focused pod. So we're going to do a hard transition right now. And I want to talk about real estate. I want to talk about your branding. And I want to talk a little bit about marketing as well. So real quick, give me the 60-second rundown. You're only 4 years in the business, but you started off in the real estate business through, unfortunately, a pretty tough time, which is right during COVID. So give us the real quick rundown on where you started, how you started, your transactions that first year, because we talked about that, and then where you're at right now.
So I've been full-time since October 1st, 2021. I got my real estate license March 2019. Didn't have my first transaction until March 2020 when the entire world shut down. My second transaction, December 2020. And I had 2 transactions, September 2021. And I finally quit my job making about 6 figures a year to jump into full-time real estate with about 10 grand in my pocket. And I have been flapping out of my nest ever since.
Good. Okay. So I remember in the early days for you, kind of your claim to fame from a marketing standpoint, not a branding standpoint, but a marketing standpoint, was you started doing some of your own property walkthroughs and grabbing your little gimbal, grabbing your iPhone and doing property walkthroughs. And this was actually before it was really, really popular. Why did you see that early on as a marketing mechanism that you wanted to gravitate towards?
The only thing a real estate agent can do is market. And if I don't have my own properties, at least I can market properties to possibly find someone that wants to buy it. And it honestly took a lot of my time that I don't have anymore. Now I only do property walkthroughs if you're my actual client, because I run a budget of 5% of whatever I plan on making off your property as marketing up front. So if I'm going to
say that again, that's important.
So I always run 5% of what I'm planning on making on your property to market your property up front.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's this one house, checks $15,000. I went ahead and ran a $1,500 marketing budget on the back end, or on the front end, that we're just now closing today, actually. So, I mean, you have to spend money to make money, but the only thing that a real estate agent can control is how many eyes are on the property, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it comes down to price, description, photos, and then overall social media marketing. Everyone's on social media. If you're not utilizing it, and I'm not talking about those stupid little just listed Canva graphics that you probably spent 2 hours creating. I'm talking about, how do you get people to feel the house that you're inside? And it's like, you have to do video.
Yeah. Perfect. So that was kind of your brand. At least that's what I saw when I was first introduced to you. And even before I met you, someone else in town had said, hey, I want to start doing some property walkthroughs like this guy out there, Mike Morris. And so when did you decide that you wanted to make a shift on some of your marketing? Because initially it was all your marketing, all your branding was heavily real estate oriented. And then I saw a shift down the road where all of a sudden it was a little bit more, and I don't think it was intentional, but a little bit more motivational on your part, because all of a sudden it was the Mike transformation story. And let me tell you why I'm bringing this up. I had a new client roughly about almost a year ago that was in our studio right here. And as part of our onboarding process, we sit down and we try to identify every new client's personal brand, what it needs to look like, what we need to do as a marketing organization, and so on and so forth. And then what does their content need to look like? And I was struggling with this one individual. He's a loan officer in Kansas City. I'm not going to name his name on the pod. And he said, I want my content to look like Mike Morris. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, the dude is an inspiration. He goes, I want my content to look like Mike Morris or Mike Morris. And I thought, okay, all right, there we go. And so people out there have seen your shift, and all of a sudden they're gravitating towards the personal branding that you're doing. But that didn't happen on day one when you got into real estate. So what happened? What was that spark in you that said, okay, this is the branding journey I'm going to go down?
So I've spent a lot of money on coaching. I've spent a lot of money on getting into the right rooms. I spent a lot of money on buying books, consumed more time than I could possibly even count on just consuming material. And every single avenue points to a personal brand. Sorry, man. I still get choked up when people say I'm an inspiration, man. It's
and honestly, and I hadn't told Mike this story before the pod, so yeah.
You have to have a personal brand. And if you don't have a personal brand, it's like, well, what do you stand for? Because all these mega teams, no offense, but I'll run you over. If it's between Sarah, who's been in the business for 30 years and tells everyone they've been in the business for 30 years, or there's some young chick who's been 3 months in the business, that's fine. Like, you're not my competition. I'm going to walk in there. I don't care if I need you. Like, I don't need you at all. And the abundance portion has kicked into my life, and I'm attracting the people that I want to work with. And I fully believe what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. And you can't beat me because I want you to win. And this is my biggest win I figure out is every single time I lose, instead of licking my wounds, how could I have won?
Yeah. And
I sit down and I physically write out everything I messed up. And I hit it, and I start saying it. And there's maybe just one thing that I messed up, but there's also sometimes where I messed up is, should I have even spent the time with this person? Did I not ask the right questions up front? Was I already not in the running before I even showed up? Could I have done anything differently to actually have secured the business? I self-evaluate harder than anybody that I know. I'm hardest on myself, but I'm not hard on myself where I just give up. I'm hard on myself like I want to get better. And whenever I get better, I go and implement. Now there's people left and right telling me, man, you're very confident in your abilities. I said, I've lost a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the exact question.
What was it? What was kind of the catalyst that inspired your current branding journey?
So the branding, you have to build up a personal brand. And you're a real estate agent and that and is what people will connect on you with. Mm-hmm. So that and for me is a massive health journey. But on top of everything is I want to give more than anybody else. And I get a lot of happiness from giving. Almost selfishly I give to different charities, to different friends. And I want to give more than anybody else that I know because it fires up my soul. From a guy that's never been able to give his entire life and always been very selfish with everything, I want to give more than anybody else I know. And because of that, I want to give my secrets away. I want to give my motivation. I want to give my inspiration. I want people to realize what I've been able to do, they can do also. Mm-hmm. But the only way they can possibly ever do it is if they take action. So my personal brand is I want to give more than anybody else for selfish reasons. And just yesterday I talked about why open houses suck. And it's like I want to give all the back end. There's going to be an agent that reads that and gets pissed off that I'm destroying their lead generation.
Sure.
I've also given, how do you sell your house for sale by owner? I'll tell you exact steps. Not afraid. Because when you realize how bad you're going to suck, you're going to call me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to give every single secret away because ultimately people are going to realize how much harder it is. And there's people that are sitting here hiding the secrets and there's people talking about them. Who do you think they're going to call first? They're probably going to call the person sharing all the secrets.
Yeah.
Here's all the success you can have. Here's the exact steps you should do. This is the exact step 1 to step 25.
So your content mix that I see today, is a lot about your personal. It's more than a fitness journey because it for you, I think it's not just body, it's also mind. Okay. So the changes you're making there, but you are really, really big on the educational piece for consumers. Okay.
Yes.
I don't see you dancing around on TikTok. Okay. We had this discussion before the pod. I don't see you doing some of the other gimmicky or trendy things that some of the other agents are doing. Why haven't you fallen into that trap?
For one, I want to give more value. And when I see you dancing on TikTok or you're doing some type of trend or you're doing some type of voiceover, or maybe you're just using your looks, how are you providing value to the average workplace? Like, I'm cocky because I would rather find 10 people and not go viral and one person call me than what I've done in the past is go viral for specific trends and get no business whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I wear it like a badge of honor. Like, I've went viral 10 plus times now, and I would say 1 million plus views. And it's like, I don't want to go viral because it didn't turn into business. You know what turned into business? This is how you sell your house effectively. This is what you should do to prepare your house. This is the best $500 you can spend in order to save 10,000. Everyone's sitting here looking for the next trendy topic and looking for views and getting their validation from views. It's like, I get my validation from people messaging me saying, thank you so much for giving me advice. And it's like, I've now popped off, and I would say 10,000 plus views off just photos, by the way, mind you, of real estate advice. And I don't know, I probably, in the last month, I only do it once a day, but in the last month, I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 pieces have popped off 10,000 plus views, and I'm probably being conservative on that number. But it's like, value is winning right now more than ever because all these dancing real estate agents, what value are you providing to the average workplace? It's like everyone sits here looking at views and these fake metrics. I'm getting 200,000 views organically off of Facebook. I'm getting an additional 180,000 off my business page. I'm getting an additional 85,000 off my Instagram, providing value. I'm not sitting here doing anything gimmicky. I'm not sitting here doing any type of trends. I'm not sitting here putting on the magic audio. I'm not sitting here doing hashtags. I'm physically giving value to people, and it's crushing.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. For the real estate agent or even non-real estate agent out there that is like, I need to do something better with my brand. I've got to work on my brand because I will say in the marketing world, as many years as I've been in it now, the most overlooked piece of marketing is branding. Because I don't think people understand it. I think people get confused on what a personal brand is. It's colors, it's logos, it's fonts. No, it's not. But someone that wanted to make a transformation with their brand, what's a couple pieces of advice that you would give them to get started? How do they look at themselves and come up with their value proposition? How do they look at themselves to align their vision of their personal brand with what the consumer's seeing out there right now?
So if you want to build a personal brand, focus on who you're trying to attract. And I would say you're a real estate agent, and that and is maybe you're a father, maybe you're a fitness enthusiast, maybe you're on a massive health journey, maybe you love old cars. Whatever that and may be, that's who you're going to align with. And it's like everyone wants to focus on everybody. They want to do business with everybody. Realistically, if you can do over 100 transactions a year by yourself, you are slammed in life. Like, that's a lot of business. So now you're trying to just attract 100 people a year. How can you attract 100 people a year? Because it's not going to be, if you're a single mom, maybe, you're not going to be attracting single dads. Like, you shouldn't be trying to attract single dads.
Yeah.
You should be trying to attract the people that you align with most. If you're a luxury agent, you're probably in that luxury world. You're probably needing to spend some money, I would say, on nice suits or very nice dresses or whatever the case may be to fit that criteria. In my world, I want the business owner who's been kicked in their teeth their entire life, probably come from a pretty rough background, and they probably don't care about tattoos. So that is my ideal client. I want that person who never thought it was possible that they'd be in the position that they're at, and now they're able to afford something that they never thought they could. And that is who I'm trying to appeal to. And it's just like, that luxury agent who's pretentious, they're not going to be able to attract them. That agent that has no idea what's going on, they're probably not going to be able to attract them. They need a guy like me to step up to find them. And they are going to align with me because they're like, man, you know what? You speak truth. And these guys, their entire lives, probably have been called assholes. Mm-hmm. They've probably done a lot of bad things in their life. They probably are giving to a lot of people and they're overly stressed. And it's like, I can provide the value as far as I'll take away all that stress from you. Yeah. But I'm very specific on who am I trying to attract. Yeah. Because I don't want people that, like, honestly, if you're a higher executive at Apple and you're very type C personality, we're probably not going to get along. You are going to be wanting data and graphs, and I'm just like, dude, do you want this house or not? Like, is this what is fitting your bill? Is this your criteria? Is this the house that you can see yourself in the next 5 years? Well, I just need to see the numbers. Dude, I don't have the time for this. I really don't. I want people that can make decisions quickly, not sit here analyzing every single inch of maybe this contract. Yeah. Like, I'm not screwing you over, but it's like, that's somebody I'm not aligned with. You know, people always say all the time, why don't you get your Kansas license? Like, what if there's $1 million buyer out in Kansas? There's $1 million buyer in Missouri too. Why do I have to go get all this time and spent in Kansas that takes me 45 minutes to get to the area that I want? My time's the most valuable asset that I own. Anything over 30 minutes, I usually just refer out anymore. So the personal branding, man, it's how it began. It started off with, how can I give? And now I showcase I'm on a massive health journey. Everybody in the world wants to lose a couple pounds. You know what? This is what I did. This is what I've been able to accomplish. And this is how you can do it too. Now, I do use that health journey for some clout to advertise my real estate business, because how the algorithm works is when you like something of mine, after my post and you comment and you say, badass job. Well, I normally hit something real estate. And when Facebook algorithm, Instagram algorithm, whatever the case may be, when you like something of mine,
see, the next three things that you put out are going to be in their feed. Absolutely.
So I want you to see the real estate, but I have to get you to see a reason to align with me. Mm-hmm. So even if you don't read anything that I post, even if you know for a fact I'm a real estate agent, you know for a fact I'm on a massive health journey, you know for a fact I try to motivate other people. And if those three things are the only three things that you see every single day, when it comes time to sell your house, you're going to think of me because you pull up your social media, you see me. Yeah. My buddy told me the other day, we went golfing. He goes, I pulled up my social media today and you were the first 4 posts. He goes, how many posts have you made today? I said 2. He goes, how many did you make yesterday? I said 4. He goes, you were my first 4 posts at 5 a.m. this morning whenever I got up.
Yeah. So the key takeaway, and I want everyone to think about what Mike just said. He's using the algorithm to his advantage. And so he's putting out some personal content, okay, about his fitness and his health, which a lot of people are going to gravitate towards. But he knows, okay, so the next post is going to be real estate related. And he's going back and forth because he's figured out how the algorithm works. If someone likes your content, they're probably going to see the next 3 pieces of content that you put out there. So just brilliant. Just brilliant. Good job.
Oh, I'm a like whore. And I want you to like, because I own your ass. Normally, I own your ass for about a week on everything that I post. You watch my story and you spend more than 3 seconds, you're going to see my stories pop up first. Yeah. But I'm posting up so much content at this point. Some pieces, I'll get 700 or 800 views. Some pieces, I'll get 70 or 80,000 views. But it's like you have to replace it with volume. I've spent hours trying to craft the perfect piece, and it's bombed. And I've spent seconds trying to just get something posted up, and it got shot to the moon. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't understand it. So at this point, I'm just going to give value, and what does well, awesome. What doesn't do well, let me see how I could have improved it. And I'll just work. I'm not going to delete it. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to figure it out in the future.
Yeah. So, I mean, that that is worth the price of admission to this podcast. What Mike said before that too, which I should have touched on before we pivoted over to the algorithm, was, and this aligns with what I've been talking about and what I've been doing with my clients for years now, is you've identified your ideal target prospect, your ideal target audience, which is what so many real estate agents make the mistake of not doing when it comes to marketing and when it comes to branding. They want to sell real estate to anyone that can fog a mirror.
Yes.
And yes, you will probably more than likely help a lot of people that don't fit in that perfect little mold, as long as they're not too far out of that mold. But that's not how we market. That's not how we brand. So textbook stuff so far. Let's pivot real quick to back to the marketing side. What does your typical marketing day look like? Because you said, okay, you put out 2 posts one day, you put out 4 posts another, so on and so forth.
So I'm about to ramp it up to 5. I have enough content at this point. I have enough momentum. I do 4 pieces of content every single day, and I've done it for at least 2 months. Before that, it was only 3 pieces of content. Before that was 2 pieces of content. Before that was 1 piece of content every day. Mm-hmm. Before that, it was 1 post every few days, maybe a video, whatever the case may be. It's now I'm confident enough to know that most of the stuff I'm going to post is going to suck. It is what it is. But I'm not looking for the perfect post. I'm looking for the post that resonates the most. And it's like you have to produce volume. Volume is the only thing I can control. I can't control the algorithm. I can't control the perfect hook that's going to resonate with everybody and get sent out. I'm not going to be able to produce the perfect writing. But what I can do is at least produce the volume, and whatever is meant for the right people to see, they will see.
But there's a real estate agent out there somewhere that's listening to this, and they're going, 4 or 5 posts a day. My friends, my followers are going to get sick of me. What's your rebuttal to that?
Good. Because the opposite end of that is they're not even going to know you're in the business. And it's like, I've had so many of my friends come up to me and say, people don't come up to me anymore and say, Mike, how are you doing? They come up and tell me, Mike, I see you all the time and you're destroying it. And we all have this preconceived notion, myself included, that everyone is going to get annoyed by me. And that's not the case at all. Yeah, you're going to lose a few fake friends. Who cares? But people are going to be so inspired by what you're doing, it'll end up firing up their soul. And it's like we all fear the one person that may talk bad about us, but yet we don't focus on the 99 that are going to love us. Mm-hmm. But the loud person is always the hater. Like, it's very rare, and it's taken me years. It's very rare that people cheer me on to the point of where the hater is there every single day. But the amount of people that come up to me, I can't walk into a supermarket anymore and people don't come up to me. I can't walk to an event and people I haven't seen talk to me and be like, you're absolutely killing it. It's people will message me, DM me, text me, call me, and tell me how good I'm doing. And it's like, I would have never accomplished that and got to that level if I would have stopped after the very first hater.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing shit in this world anyway. And it's like, you have to go find somebody that's going to hate on you, because I would say for every one hater that you have, I would say almost 300 people are going to love you for it, but they're never going to be loud about it. And it's like, you just have to trust it. It's like much like selling a house. Yeah, if you can go, you don't have to clean up your house. But if you don't clean up your house, you're probably going to lose $10,000 on the back end. You should have just spent the $500 up front.
Yeah.
It's like my one hater up front who's loud is the back end. I'm getting the 300 lovers, and it's growing exponentially quick.
Yeah. So on your 4 to 5 pieces of content that you're putting out a day, what's that look like? What is it? Is it, I call them static posts, picture posts? Is it carousels? Is it videos? Is it a mix? What does your content look like?
Honestly, I really don't have a plan on that one. Every morning I start off with motivation. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, I go find the best pieces of motivation that I can find. I bookmark it. I send it to AI, say, tell me exactly how to make this post, exact same wording. And I post a random picture of me in the background. I put my logo and a piece that's already proven that it's done well, copy and paste it. So I'm just duplicating and ripping off every morning. Mid-morning, I'm posting up something about my transformation. Some type of piece of value is if you're looking to lose weight, some type of motivation, if you think you can't, something about my transformation. Like that's my story, so I'm going to post it up every single day. I want your eyes to bleed from knowing my story. After that, I've been doing a video that every single time I walk into a house or go show a house, I'm doing at least 3 to 4 videos. Maybe, hey, whenever I'm walking up to a house, this is what I'm looking at. I'm checking out the roof. I'm checking out the bushes. I'm checking out the landscaping. I'm checking out the concrete. I'm checking out the neighborhood. I'm checking out everything. And I'm literally just making the content. When I walk through the door, I'm looking at everything. I'm seeing maybe there's a piece of content. Maybe there's a watermark on the ceiling. Hey, if you're walking into a house, make sure you're always looking at the ceiling because this right here will tell me there's probably a bathroom up there that's leaking in some manner. We need to take care of that. Or you walk into a house and you go, hey, when you walk in, this is how you should be greeted. You have everything very organized. You want everything clean. You don't want scattered BS everywhere inside the house. If it looks like your house, why would I want to purchase your house? I'm trying to purchase my house.
Yeah.
Make it look to the masses. If you got some bright pink walls right whenever you come in, that's loud. Like you don't want that. That's going to scare people away. And I'm just providing value to somebody that may be out there looking for, they can't figure out why their house isn't selling, whatever the case may be. And then my last post for a day is something Kansas City specific to home sellers. And the home seller aspect is this is how you sell your house on your own. This is how you should spend $500 to make the most amount of money. This is what you should do before you ever call a real estate agent. This is the questions you should be asking your real estate agent. You should be definitely finding out their marketing plan. Ask your real estate agent these type of questions. Like it's to the masses of Kansas City specific. And then I go, after I post to Instagram and Facebook, I go to Google and I just capitalize on SEO, all AI based, and just say, hey, acting Google SEO expert, go ahead and put this into Google, capitalize on the Kansas City Northland, and I'm posting up organic. And it's like, that is beginning. It's only been a month. I'm going to do it for a year. And if I don't get traction, I'll stop doing Google.
Yeah.
I feel like we both know after a year, though, I probably will.
Yeah. Well, and so the 2 things I pulled out of what you just said. Number one is you are focusing all of your marketing efforts and your SEO with Google on a specific area. So you are not trying to blanket the entire Kansas City area, both the Missouri side and the Kansas side, because yes, we do have 2 sides of the state line here in Kansas City. But the other thing that I pulled out, let's see if I butcher your quote here. If your house looks like your house, I don't want to buy your house. I want to buy my house. And so I absolutely love that quote. I'm gonna have to listen to this again. I'm gonna have to steal that in the future because that was perfect. Textbook stuff so far. We could literally go on for days talking about this. I want to pivot right now, and I want to pivot because a lot of what you've said today and how you've said it, I can tell you're in a lot of coaching programs and you've been in a lot of coaching programs. And what kind of spurred me to get Mike in here for the pod is a few months ago, he went down to a mastermind down in Louisiana. And you made a lot of posts when you were down there. And this was down at John Cheplack's mastermind. I'll just throw John out there. And you said, I found my room of people. And all of a sudden, my ears perked up a little bit because you don't look like the atypical real estate agent. You don't. And that's not a bad thing. But you found your room of people. But more importantly to me is I'm watching you gravitate towards coaching. And I know you've got coaches in different aspects of your life. And so many people overlook the power of coaching. So let's talk about that for a minute. How many coaches right now do you actively have?
3 coaches.
And the typical real estate agent may have one, maybe. And that may just be the broker or a team lead or something like that within their office. Something they're really not paying extra for. Talk to me about the impact of coaching on your personal life and your business life.
So I have plenty of mentors I'm associated with, and I'm not even counting them as coaching. I would probably say I have about 5 mentors that anytime I'm about to make a decision, I'm reaching out to them. Just as, this is what I'm going to do. Tell me why I shouldn't. Now, my business coach, that's Mark, and he is helping me out in getting my own business organized. Now, John is the top tier coach you could probably have in real estate, but only team related.
Yeah.
Not independent production. Now, he could crush it, but that's not his ideal person. He wants the mega team leader specifically who's trying to grow their team. Like, he wants the absolute killers at the very top. That's John's ideal client. So the power of coaching, I would say, is just to get you confident enough to do the thing over and 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 over again. And every top performer in this entire world has a coach. Now, there's some people that get lucky, but look at every single sport player. Look at every single top tier individual. I would argue, look at every single top 10 most expensive companies in the world. They probably all have a coach for the CEO. Because a coach is purely to just push you to do the thing that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So the coaching aspect, I don't know where I would be without coaching. And I've spent well over $100,000 in different coaching, from different modules, different programs, different seminars, different traveling. I mean, hell, just to get into John Cheplak's room, I spent $2,000, and it was 2 days. Mm-hmm. And I would never have even dreamt of I would spend that much money. I don't second guess it at all.
Yeah.
Like, I truly believe, and I just spent $1,000 in mats. John Cheplak and Alec Cheplak said, you need to be producing more content. I was doing 1 post a day, always trying to figure out a video. They're like, I'm doing photos of 6 times a day. How can you do that? I'm like, all right, cool. So I immediately learned it, did it, implemented it. They have both reached out and said, I see you all the time. Good job.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is when the people around you see the level of work that you're willing to do, there's no jealousy at the top. There's only collaboration. And there's only jealousy of people not doing as much as you. They want to justify their lack of effort with your non-lack of effort. And it makes me happy when people say they try to talk shit on me, because I know for a fact I'm doing more than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing most haters can never do is outwork the person that's determined and driven.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. So, all right. Literally, I could go on for hours with you, and I want to get you back in here because a lot of this stuff is absolutely masterclass marketing, and I'd really love to pull back some of the layers on this and get in there deeper. But because of time constraints today, well, I do want to start to wrap this up a little bit. Let's talk about other real estate agents that are out there right now and how we talked about, okay, when it comes to reinventing their branding, their personal brand, we've talked about a few steps out there, but someone that's struggling in real estate, someone that's newer in real estate, or someone that's been in the business for 5, 7, 10 years, that's just not at the level that they want to be at. What are 3 things, if you became their mentor or their coach tomorrow, you would tell them to do? So 3 things that they need to do from a business standpoint, a marketing standpoint, a branding standpoint, to help them in their real estate business.
Focus on giving and not taking in all aspects on social media. Give the best information that you have away for free.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get tied to any of the outcomes to your level of output. And it'll feel overwhelming until you actually start taking action. And that inaction is why you're at the position that you're at. Action is the solution to all problems.
Inaction is why. Say that again.
So there's a quote, and I love it. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. if you're not where you're at, for one, it's nobody else's fault but your own. It's not your brokers. It's not your ex-husband. It's not your ex-wife. It's not your kids. If you don't wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and get pissed off at where you're at in life, then you're going to be at where you're at in life forever. Everything in your life is your fault. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're going to be able to fix it. And the sooner you can fix it, the faster you will get to start to live the life that you desire. And I believe anybody in the world can live the craziest, biggest life as possible. They just have to take action, and it's not easy.
Yeah. So someone out there listening to this takes that to heart. They start working on themselves. Something bad happens in 4 weeks, and all of a sudden they're back down again. How do they get back out of that hole? How do they pull the bootstraps back up?
So it's going to happen. So as long as I don't care how perfect of a plan you have, you're going to fail. And it doesn't matter, just like what Rocky said, it doesn't matter how hard you hit. What matters is how hard you can get hit and get back up. I walk through life very confident, and I would even say cocky, because I've been hit so many times that it's like, how can you break me? Like, God's on my side. You can't beat me. I want you to win. I'm willing to give every secret away to you. And yet you still want to try to talk bad about me? Like, that says everything about you, not me.
Yeah.
And I will still give to you, even if I find out. If you reach out and you want help, I will give it all away. I'll give you every single secret that I've learned. I will give you the quickest way to... I've spent $150,000 on my mind. I will give it all away just to see you succeed. And if you don't have that type of mindset, you're probably in the wrong business. And I'll say, if you're feeling burnt out, why did you hop in it in the first place? Like, I accomplished...
It's a hard business.
Dude, it's a bitch.
Yeah.
Real estate, if I could go back in time, I probably would have not done it. But it's taught me everything that I know. And now at this point, it's like, there's a few people I have my eyes on at the top that I want to crush because they're arrogant.
Yeah.
And I want to shorten that gap between where they are and where I'm at. Because they're not going to be able to expand as fast as I can catch up.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What did we not talk about that you want to add today? Anything? And I'm going to get you back at one before too long, because there's some layers I want to pull back on what we talked about today, and get a little bit more specific on a couple different things. But what do you want to add today that we didn't hit on?
Marketing is single-handedly the most important aspect of a real estate agent. And if you suck at marketing, figure it out quick. Because there's people like me who use AI, and I don't think AI will replace a single person in this world. But the person that learns how to AI will.
Yeah.
And that real estate agent who's afraid to put themselves out there, you're going to get ran over by a guy like me. And you're going to get out of the business. And I hope and pray you take these words, because it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And if you don't take my words, look at yourself in the mirror and realize you failed you. I didn't fail you. I worked my ever-loving ass off to provide the most amount of value as possible. It's not my fault that you didn't.
Love that. Where can people find you out there online?
Big Mike Sells KC.
Big Mike Sells KC. Which one of these days he's going to have to change to Media Mike Sells KC, but that's.
You know, I actually ran a poll recently, and I got 74% of people saying I'm Big Mike for life. There was like 12% of people that said I was Medium Mike, and then there was the other same amount of 12% of people, or whatever that number is, that Small Mike Sells KC. So
it's your personality now. That's
what they said.
Yeah,
they said you know what's funny? There was a few people commented. I didn't even realize Big Mike was like your size. I thought it was just your bigger than life personality. These people don't comment. They don't like. They don't say nothing ever. And when they said that, I'm like, I kind of forgot you even existed. But it's like people are always watching.
They may not comment, they may not like, but you do have people watching. Absolutely.
I had a friend reach out recently. Haven't talked to him 5 years. Message me, dude, I just want to say how much you inspire me every single day. And it went on to a giant novel, and it literally made me like tear up because you don't know the level of impact that you're having. But I stopped focusing on the likes. I stopped focusing on the analytics. I stopped focusing on all that.
Yeah.
I just focus on trying to give as much value every single day, and it's coming back tenfold.
Well, like I said at the beginning, I mean, I had someone in here and we're working on their branding plan and their marketing plan. They said, I want my stuff to look like Mike Morris. And it's not a lender that works with you. It's just someone that's out there watching. So people are watching. People are watching. Dude, thank you so much. This was a textbook podcast. And I'm so fortunate to have you come in and go into what you were willing to go in today. Thank you.
Man, it was an honor. I hope somebody somewhere gets value from this information.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like they'll end up getting out of the business.
So someone's struggling. You okay if they reach out to you? They send you a DM or whatever with some questions?
Absolutely. Send me a DM. I'll say this because I get messaged all the time. If you want help, I got you. But if you're trying to get a hand out or you're trying to sell me some type of golden ticket to whatever, don't reach out to me.
Perfect. Brother, thank you. Keep doing the work.
Every day.
All right. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.